Hello, this is Father David here on the Thursday of Palm Week as we approach the very end of Great Lent, the 40 days prior to Lazarus Saturday and Palm Sunday. Father Stephen begins in his meditation on the reading of Proverbs, which says, "Do not be envious of evil men, nor desire to be with them, for their heart devises violence, and their lips talk of troublemaking." Father Stephen is very honest in this particular meditation on the scriptures, because he says, often I envy those who seemingly live the good life, at least by worldly standards. He says, I attend church services, but I resent those who don't. I fast from certain foods and forms of entertainment during the Lenten season, but I'm jealous of those who seem quite happy not to do so. Why does Christianity, and especially Orthodoxy, have to be so difficult? I grumble. I know Christ wants me to be pure of heart, mind, and soul, but it's more fun to eat, drink, and be merry. I envy those who are perfectly content, either unaware of or not desiring any spiritual struggle. And then he goes to talk about the difference between happiness and joy. And I'll skip over to the Font of Wisdom section where he quotes Saint Innocent of Alaska and his short book, The Indication of the Way into the Kingdom of Heaven. That's a short book. You can find it online. It's public domain. And it's very accessible, very practical for spiritual reading. But he clarifies the Orthodox Christian viewpoint on what can often be called the prosperity gospel. The idea that, all of these things that Father Stephen mentions in the meditation on Proverbs, some Christians, and it's really, Father Stephen says it's rooted in 19th century Protestant thought, but it finds its shoots, its offshoots, its results here in the 21st century. It's definitely still around, saying that following after God will result in the blessings of those same things that so many people live to enjoy: money, status, ease, enjoyment of life, luxury, these kinds of things. But St. Innocent clarifies our Orthodox point of view. He says, to desire what is good for one's self and to seek prosperity or happiness is part of man's nature. And therefore, it is not a sin or a vice. That first part's important. But, St. Innocent continues, we need to know that here on earth there has not been and is not and never will be true and perfect happiness and prosperity. For all our prosperity and happiness are only in God. The saint stresses that only God can quench the desires of the human heart. Do you want prosperity and happiness? He asks. Seek it in God. And this harkens back to the words of St. Augustine, who says, our hearts are restless until they rest in thee, speaking to God. Saying that, as some others have said, there is a hole inside of every human soul, every human heart. And it is ultimately shaped exactly like God. If this makes sense. God is the only thing, as Father Stephen says, that will fill that empty space. This is, quite frankly, the clarification I try to make quite often. As St. Innocent says, to have stability, happiness, safety in this life, it's a part of human nature, especially in the fallen world. It's not a sin, it's not a vice. So we shouldn't look at these things, especially those things that we're fasting from during the Lenten season, the food and the enjoyment and the entertainment and all this. We shouldn't look at nice, high quality, well-crafted, beautiful things that may cost a lot of money, as necessarily bad in and of themselves. But we have to always look at them in light of eternity. Those things may not be evil and bad and wrong in and of themselves. There are some things that have no good use. But things that are good and beautiful in this world, we can enjoy them for what they are. But we must always recognize their limitations. They will pass away. They will not, as we said a couple of days ago, we cannot take them with us. And we should not live as though that is our goal, to clutch to them, to, be distraught when we lose them. But we should find our ultimate happiness by investing, rather than in financial issues of this world, investing through prayer, fasting, almsgiving in God. Because those things, though they are not the only aspect of our lives, we have to take care of other things. We have our businesses to run, or we have our jobs to do, or we have our children to raise, or we have things to find out about and learn about in this world, to enjoy. But all of that should be done with the main focus of our gaze on God. How is this related to eternity? How can I enjoy this and give thanks to God for it? How do I enjoy this without disconnecting the gift from the giver? So continue on in your Lenten fast to continue to deny yourself, take up your cross, follow Christ, but learn not to reject these certain things as evil, but after the fast, come back to them, thank God for them, and recognize that God himself is the only thing that will ultimately satisfy. So God bless you, and Lord willing, we will see you tomorrow.